Welcome to Black Onyx, where we hope to keep you better informed about investing. We're chatting with Paul Duncan from Catalyst Fund Managers. He runs an alternative hedge fund with a listed property focus. Paul, thank you very much for joining us today.
Andrew, thank you very much for having us and for giving us this opportunity.
Paul, tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into investing.
Andrew, my background, I guess, starts with my undergrad at UCT. I did a Bachelor of Business Science, and after completing that, I joined Broll Property Group, who are probably the largest and most preeminent manager of direct real estate in the country. And I guess it's there where I cut my teeth and developed an understanding and passion for real estate as an asset class. I worked throughout the value chain in the commercial real estate space while I was at Broll, and that my experience involved everything from developments to leasing, sales, purchases on behalf of either third parties or clients. And I was really in the trenches there. You know, I got to really understand real estate, industrial, retail and office assets and how they really operate and what is required to make real estate as an asset class work over the long term. After that, I went to London and I spent about 4 years working in both financial services and investment banking. I guess like most South Africans do in their mid-20s. I felt a natural draw back to South Africa after that time. I returned in about 2002 and completed an MBA at the Graduate School of Business in Cape Town. And briefly, or shortly after that, I was introduced to Andre Stadler, who was the founder of Catalyst Fund Managers, a business that he had started 2 years prior, which was a listed real estate fund manager. And for me, that was a perfect fit for my long-term career aspirations, in that it married my two real passions, being real estate and financial markets. And that was now approximately 15 years ago, and that's where I am today.
Tell us about Catalyst Fund Managers and how the business got started and where you are today.
The genesis of Catalyst Fund Managers really starts with the vision that Andre Stadler had in the early 2000s, which was to create a listed real estate fund manager. At that time, listed real estate as an asset class, particularly in South Africa, was really in its infancy. It wasn't well recognized as a direct allocation for many investors, either retail investors or pension funds. And Andre had spent many years working in the direct real estate environment himself. At Old Mutual, he was involved with some of the largest retail developments in the country, including Gateway, Menlyn Shopping Centre. But similar to me, I guess his real passion was always in investments. And he had this dream to create a listed real estate fund manager. He approached ironically, the CEO of Broll Property Group, Jonathan Broll, with his idea, and Jonathan provided the platform for him to create Catalyst Fund Managers, and that was the start of the business. Initially, we initially started by running segregated portfolios for some of your larger South African pension funds and asset allocators who were looking for a dedicated real estate solution as part of their overall diversified portfolios. That was probably took us through the first 5-6 years of the business, and around about 2006-07 we introduced a global real estate offering, applying exactly the same investment philosophy and process to which we applied to valuing local listed real estate. And that was where our second sort of pillar got added to the Catalyst Fund Management business, the first being local portfolios, the second pillar being global portfolios. And at approximately the same time, we also launched our alternative fund management business, which gave us the flexibility to run a fund outside of the traditional building block constraints. And those are the three ultimate pillars of our business. Today we are a business of approximately 12 investment professionals, as well as a significant middle office environment.
Paul, give me your definition of a hedge fund and describe some of the tools that you fund managers can use to capitalize on such a strategy.
I think there are many definitions that one hears when people refer to hedge funds. I think the most significant characteristic that comes with hedge funds is obviously your ability to hedge risk or traditional risks, including, amongst others, market risk. And the most common way that people tend to do that is by being able to go short instruments to hedge against market risk. And obviously the other is the ability to gear up or leverage the exposure to the market. So you can gear up more than 100% of your actual NAV exposure. And then the other dimension to that is obviously the ability to utilize derivatives in managing your hedge fund strategy.
Tell us how your fund is different from alternative and other traditional classes.
I think the most significant differential or uniqueness of our alternative fund is the fact that the only asset class in our tool set is listed real estate. It's an asset class that we know intimately. It's an asset class that we understand both locally and globally, and have been researching and covering for 15 to 20 years. The fund right now tends to look at both local and global real estate in terms of this exposure. We tend to take advantage of the fact that we believe that real estate as an asset class is an under-researched and understood asset class, and that on one hand creates plenty of opportunity for us. We also, a significant underpin to the investment philosophy is the fact that in its DNA, listed real estate, we believe, has the ability to deliver inflation plus 5 to 7% total returns. However, local listed real estate and global listed real estate are quite lowly correlated to each other. And even once you overlay the rand currency volatility, we see that correlation being even lower. So blending local and global real estate, we believe, ultimately allows us to deliver a return similar to what each of those two could deliver in real terms, but at far lower volatility than holding either local real estate or global real estate. Once you overlay tools of modern finance and hedge fund type sub-strategies, we can enhance that return even more significantly. And here I'm talking about things like pair trades, merger and arbitrage opportunities, leverage when we believe significantly in the relative value or upside of a particular opportunity, and just having the flexibility to be in and out the market, where sometimes you cannot do that within a typical long-only environment where you have to be or are mandated to be fully invested or being referenced to some sort of benchmark. There's none of that inflexibility with running our alternative fund. Is that if we believe that the sector is looking expensive or is unattractive, we have the tools to take advantage of that. But over the long term, by blending both local and global real estate, we believe we can deliver these exceptional returns at far lower volatility, largely uncorrelated to local real estate, to global real estate, as well as to equities in general.
Paul, thank you very much for your time and sharing your knowledge and giving us a better understanding of the world around us.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
And thank you very much for tuning into Black Onyx. For more detail and more managers, please visit our website.